Good morning, boys and girls. I'm going to tell you a story about my little baby brother. My name's Miriam, and you'll find out what part I play in this story in just a few minutes. Years ago, there was a Pharaoh that was a good Pharaoh, and a Pharaoh is a king of Egypt. But he died, and several years later, there was another Pharaoh that took his place. And this Pharaoh probably looked like this. He was very mean. He was a mean Pharaoh. He was mean to the Israelite people. He made them be slaves. And he beat them if they didn't do what he said do. But he was also mean to the Hebrew newborn baby boys. And this is a story I'm going to tell you about my little baby brother. Well, now, my mama had a newborn baby boy. And he was a little fella, and she hid him. For 3 months, she hid him in the house. Well, when he got to be 3 months old, she had to quit hiding him because he was getting too big, and he was probably making baby noises. So one day, she decided she would do something. And she took a basket, and she took this basket and put mud and tar on the bottom of it. And I thought, what is she going to do with that basket? Well, you know what she did? She took my baby brother and put him in this basket and took him to the Nile River. And she put, at the Nile River, there was grass that was really tall and thick. You couldn't see through it. So she placed this little basket at the edge of the Nile River. And you know what she told me to do? She told me to hide, but to watch my little baby brother. So I did what my mama said. I hid, and I watched. And sure enough, somebody came to the river, and I thought, oh no, they're going to get him, they're going to hurt him. I thought, oh no. So I watched very carefully. And it was the princess of the Egyptian king, or the Pharaoh. She was his daughter. Well, she and her maids had came to the river to take a bath. And she saw the basket floating in the water. See, it's floating in the water like this. And she told her maid, go get it, bring it here. And they did. And she opened up the basket. Well, my little brother cried, but he was a very pretty little boy. And she says, I'm going to take him and raise him as he was my very own little boy. And I'm going to call him Moses because we drew him out of the water. Well, I heard her talking, and I jumped up and ran up to her and said, would you like to have a Hebrew lady take care of this baby or be his nurse till he's a little bit bigger? She said, yes, go get her. And she said, I'll pay her for it. Well, you know what I did? I ran home and I got Mama. Took Mama up there to the princess, and the princess handed her back baby Moses. Well, the princess didn't know that that was Moses' real mama, but I did. So she kept the little boy, she kept baby Moses for until he got a little bit older. Then she had to take him back to Pharaoh's daughter because that's what she said she would do. And it was probably hard on her to do that, but she had promised the princess she'd take care of him till he got so old. So she gave him back to her, and that's how the princess took Moses to be part of her family. He was her adopted son. And that's how my mother saved my little baby brother from being destroyed.
Activity time!
All right, since our lesson is over, and I was so thankful that the Pharaoh's daughter adopted my little brother that I made a thank you flower. But this is a thank you flower to you. It says, thank you for listening to the story. Now, this is a flower that you can give to somebody that you really care for, or if they've done something for you and you want to show your appreciation, you can write on this flower what you want to say. See, on this flower, I says, thank you for listening to the story. And all these things to make this little flower with will be on Facebook. because you need construction paper and a big popsicle stick, I call it. And this, but there's another thing you can do with this flower. See where I have the yellow part? You can take a Hershey's Kissy and stick it right there. And then you give it to some person you love or care for. Thank you.